Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a review here on my newest figure in the collection. It's Mando, Djarin from Mandalorian, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2, and this is his Durasteel armor. And I am so glad to finally have a Mandalorian figure in the collection. I will be interjecting a little clip here that I made earlier about something that happened to me over a year ago, and it was a Boxing Day, and I was loving the show, and I decided very spontaneously to buy a Beskar Armor deluxe Mando figure that came with the Grogu figure as well, and I'll show you that clip in a moment. That didn't work out so well, but I got this secondhand from a guy in the UK, and I won't say his name just in case he doesn't want me to, but it turned out I got it from him, and then he messaged me and said he knew the channel and he watched some of my stuff, and he took such good care of his figure. He got it to me so fast, and he, you know, it's mint condition. It's second hand on eBay, but the box is mint. The figure is absolutely mint. He literally just took it out of the box and put it in his display case, I guess, and never really messed with it too much. It's just absolutely gorgeous figure. I can't wait to review this and talk about it and pose it. We're gonna have a lot of fun here, but before the fun starts, I want to make you guys aware of something that happened to me on eBay over a year ago, and I'll interject that clip now and you can watch that. Okay, so I just wanted to make you guys aware of something and someone to be wary of on eBay. Back in December 2020, it was December 26th, you can see that in the top left hand corner. I've taken 3 screenshots here, and you can see underneath that on the left where it says I've paid, and that was an instant payment. I bought the Hot Toys Mandalorian and the Child Deluxe set, and I paid £250 and 97p, and I have not received it to this day. I have tried contacting this guy, and originally it's a long story, but basically he kept saying it hasn't come into stock yet, don't worry, next month it's definitely coming in. And he kept doing that, and the reason I went along with it was in my past experience, you know, collecting 1/6 scale figures for about 15 years now. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes you got to keep waiting for it to come in. There's delays and stuff. But he just kept saying, you know, it would be next month, next month, next month. So because he kept doing that, the time where you have the ability to get in touch with eBay or even PayPal or your credit card, however you paid, you know, you can get your money back. And because he kept fobbing me off and telling me that it was, you know, just around the corner, don't worry, I know it's late, but I apologize, it's still coming. I just kept going along with it because, like I said, in my past experience, sometimes that happens. Not very often, but it has happened to me before. But the guy came through in the end, but not this guy. So he just started ignoring my messages, and to this day I have never had a refund. I've never received my Mandalorian figure, and I'm really pissed off about it. You can see the name of his store in the middle. He or she toys. 98% positive feedback, 12,000 items sold. He also goes by the seller profile there in the bottom right, MNY19-53. So I can't even message this guy anymore. I tried to message him, but there's no option. It's like he's blocked me or something. I can't get in touch with the guy. And like I said, I've tried PayPal, my credit card, eBay. No one could help me because it had gone on too long. So it passed the point of me being able to get any money back. So just wanted to let you guys know, stay away from this guy. He's no good. £250 just gone, disappeared. No figure. I've received nothing from him. He's made no effort to make things right with me, and it's a lot of money to lose, and I'm really angry about it, and I have been ever since December 26th, 2020. It's now 2022 February, so it's crazy to think I still haven't had any money back, no communication, no replies, and no effort from him to make things right. So I'm gonna, you know, keep it professional, not swear, not call the guy any names, but this is really bad, and I just wanted to make you guys aware of this. So I should have had a Mandalorian figure, you know, like December, well, it would have come January 2021,
and I never received it. So be aware of this guy out there on eBay. Don't support him. Damn shame. Anyway, just wanted to make you guys aware of this. Avoid this seller like the plague.
So yeah, it was a very unpleasant experience, and I hope that no one out there goes through what I went through with that particular person on eBay. I mean, I should have a Beskar armor Mandalorian here to compare with this one right now, but I don't, because he completely screwed me over. And to this day, I have had no resolution from him, no closure, nothing, just money gone and no figure. Really out of order. It's theft, basically. So, but with all that ugliness out of the way, I have this amazing piece in front of me, and I absolutely love it. I got to tell you, man, this is, I'll save all the final thoughts for the final thoughts and the score at the end, and we'll sum it all up. But this is truly, truly cool. It's a very, very nice looking figure, and I love the show. I've been watching the Book of Boba Fett, and it started off a little bit dull in places. I'm not mad keen on the Boba Fett character in this show that's on at the moment on Disney Plus. But spoiler alert, just cover your ears for the next 10 seconds if you haven't seen the Boba Fett show yet. In episode 5, Mando comes back, and that episode was absolutely awesome. And I've got episode 6 ready to go later on tonight. I'm going to watch that. I'm really looking forward to it. So, yeah, I do prefer this look overall compared to the Beskar armor, although I do really like that as well. I'm going to see about in the future getting a Beskar Mando to go with this one and see what happens. Hot Toys keep making different versions of him. I think they're doing another one of this one as well, where he comes with the I forget the name of the animal that he was riding in the early episodes of the first season of Mandalorian. I think they're doing one of those. I don't know if they're going to upgrade his armor, and I don't know. See, that's the thing with the Beskar armor, you'd really want it to be die-cast, but then because of the Velcro system of a lot of the way these armor plates sit on the material of the clothing, I'm not too sure die-cast pieces would work too well, because they're quite heavy and they might drag the suit down. So maybe that's why, to my knowledge anyway at the moment, why we're not getting a die-cast Mando figure. Although we might be, for all I know. Maybe they've hinted at it and I've missed it, but the plastic, and the material works really well. It's very convincing. I mean, his helmet looks really shiny and really weathered on this piece. It's just, there's so many little names for him. You can call him the OG Mando, or the Durasteel Mando, or just episode 1 and 2 Mando. There's different names, but this is how we first saw him. This was our introduction to such a cool character and such a really, really good show. I was kind of done with Star Wars after the prequels, and then the new movies, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and the Rise of Skywalker. They just, to me, didn't really do it for me. So I was kind of done, and it took me a little while to finally watch Mandalorian. But once I did start seeing it, I was pretty invested. I was very impressed. So it's cool that this show has done so well, and we've got all these amazing collectibles. Just an absolutely stunning piece. So he doesn't come with a hell of a lot, and there's things that he definitely could have come with that they didn't include with this one, but you get enough. Obviously it's a beautiful base with the sand effect and the spikes and the Stormtrooper helmet that you can put on either one of the spikes, with a really good weathering and blood effects on there. Dried, nasty blood. It's been in the sun, don't forget. So the blood's kind of darkened and dried. Now, a lot of people remove the fat suit on this. He actually has like a padded bodysuit underneath his outfit to fill him out a little bit, and it does hinder the articulation slightly. I haven't had too much trouble with the articulation myself, so I don't think I'm actually going to remove the fat suit that's under here. So I'll update you on that if I do in the future, but we'll see how this review goes. I haven't really posed him much before filming this because I didn't want to sort of spoil the shock and awe of how amazing he looks when you do put him in poses. I wanted to save that for my genuine reactions when I'm doing this review for you. So let's get on with it, because I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes now just filming him like this. So we'll get into it now, and we're going to pose him up, and I'll tell you all my thoughts on the piece. And I'm really glad to have it, man. This is a very, very cool figure. I'll tell you that right out of the gate. This is an awesome piece. So drop a like on the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333 for plenty of pictures of the figure. Alright, so we'll roll through all the different stuff that you get with him. Some of his accessories are actually on him now, so like the gun here, that's in his hand, and then the big rifle I've got slung over his shoulder, that's on his back, and then obviously the base with the spikes, which are removable, and the excellent Stormtrooper helmet, which you can remove, and you could possibly have that at his feet maybe if you wanted to. You get the interchangeable shoulder armor there. That's the piece that he had at the very beginning of episode 1. So this Beskar armor on his shoulder here, that was the first upgrade we saw, and it's really nice that they gave you both of those. And we've got a kind of electricity kind of effect that you can attach to the end of that rifle, so you can have him posed up with that in full force. And we get a total of 6 hands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and that is about it. This one here is removable. I've heard that these are removable, but I couldn't get them to move really. They're very stiff if they are removable, but these ones here, the ammunition for his rifle, those ones do remove. And he's got his tracking fob as well, which I just tucked into his belt there. So yeah, I have to mention that you do get the tracking fob also. But man, what a presence. It's amazing, because certain kind of 1/6 scale figures, whether they're made by Hot Toys or whoever, if they're wearing a helmet like this, or if it's a Spider-Man figure with a mask over his face, basically if there's no human features showing, if everything else is done right, then it looks so convincing in photography as the real deal. I mean, you know, you come back a bit, and if you zoom in, you get that kind of effect where he looks bigger. And I really want to take him outside to like the woods and do some photography in a forest or something, because I just know that it would look incredible. I've seen other people do stuff like that. I wish I lived in America near a desert. You know, I could take him out in the sand and do photography with him. I don't think there's anywhere in England I can really pull that off, but the woods will have to do. And a beautiful cape. Absolutely beautiful, and it's just the right kind of material as well. It looks the same as in the movie, like the actual look and feel of this material. It looks very film accurate, and it's the same kind of stuff that I've seen on the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi Hot Toys figure that I had before, his hooded kind of cloak. Same kind of material, hangs beautifully. And this particular version of Mando, the Durasteel version, it does have a lot of rips and weathering. Well, not so much weathering, but just the effect of, you know, rips and tears. But the Beskar armor doesn't have this look at the edge at the end. It has some of the holes, like that one there, but this is the only version so far I think that has the kind of shredded look at the edge, which I just really like. So an amazing looking piece, beautiful weathering all over his armor. I remember the moment in episode 1 where the guy at the bar scratched along here, and everything is present and correct. I just love the colors of this version. You know, the grey undersuit with the browns and the dark kind of armor. Beautiful. It all comes together so nice, and then breaks it up a little bit with the kind of yellowish fingers and the white and the blue there. I mean, this is just exceptional. It's great design. Very cool design for the character. And I have to say, the Hot Toys absolutely nailed the hell out of this. It is so accurate and so good. It just looks incredible. Alright, now I've just swapped over the shoulder armor to how we see him at the beginning of episode 1 before the upgrade. And I have to say, before I got my hands on one of these myself and watching other people's reviews in the past, I was worried about the Velcro attachment system, because I thought, well, Velcro sometimes can start to lose its, you know, stickiness. That's the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Over time, the more you mess with it and keep removing it and put it back on, it can kind of lose that security of knowing it's really on there. But so far, I mean, it feels really good. When I removed this one, it was really on there, and this one is, yeah, that's really on there too. I'm tugging away at it and it's not coming off, so I'm glad about that. It's so, man, let's just back up and see him in his original state. match the presence of this thing, man. It's just amazing, the proportions. And like I was saying before about characters that have their face completely covered, they just, when they're done right by companies like Hot Toys, it's so convincing as the real thing. I mean, this just looks like him shrunk down to 1/6 scale and he's standing there. Now here he is on the rotating base, and he has really good balance. He's one of those figures you could feel pretty confident leaving him standing up in a display without his stand to hold him up. His ankles are nice and tight, so very good balance. And this is definitely the kind of figure you would want to see rotating like this, so you can just soak up all the details. Beautifully done. Even the back of his helmet, beautiful detail there. All the little pieces to look at. All the blaster hits, impacts, all the damage, scrapes and scuffs. His armor tells a story on this one. Not so much with the Beskar armor because it's very clean. But this one is very lived in. You can tell he's been through quite a lot wearing this. And just from a visual standpoint, I really like that. I like the fact that when you look at it, you can kind of see a history. And just the detail, the paintwork and the sculpt on his boots alone is quite impressive. I mean, you can see all the embedded sand where he's been trudging through, hunting down those bounties. All the scuffs and scrapes here. They're really nicely painted. Even got some weathering on the guard there on his hand. Everywhere you look, there is detail to behold. I love the chest plate on this one. I love this as well. That's a big impact wound there. Look at that. Nice detailed weathering. Great paint on his rifle. Not sure if it's called a rifle, folks. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Yeah, there's some really beautiful weathering on the helmet, which you don't get on the Beskar version. It's a lot more clean. But you can see all in the little recesses, like on the inside here, a lot of kind of, not just like, I don't know, it's kind of like a, to me it looks like just that kind of mold that would build up over the years. But it's very nicely weathered. Alright, so let's do some poses and have some fun. Here he is holding on to the tracking fob. Still holding on to his gun, his blaster. Now I'm able to get some pretty good double bend in the elbow to bring the blaster up nice and high and close to the helmet. And again, I have not removed the padded suit that's underneath his outfit. So you could maybe get a little bit more bend in the elbow once you remove the padded suit. But I think this is good enough for me as far as just pulling off a simple pose like this. Now, it took me a minute to get the arm out straight like this, and it's a very kind of stiff ratchet joint at the, the connection where the arm joins onto the kind of shoulder area. So I found it best to remove the shoulder armor there and just have the arm facing kind of forward like this, and then just gradually kind of lift it up and then turn it out, and I was able to get, you know, something looking quite natural. I'm just going to put his shoulder armor back on. I think I'll put on the Beskar upgraded armor. We'll come back. Already that looks amazing though. Alright, so that looks pretty sweet. I will say with the arm in this position, it is a bit tricky to get the Velcro to attach on the shoulder armor. It is attached slightly, but not as much as it would usually if it was in more of a natural kind of position. But it works fine for the pose and for photography. You can get what you need to get done. So I'm glad to see that without removing the padded suit, you're still able to pull off just a nice arm pose like that. Alright, now I just line this up. He's got the blaster pointed right at us. Awesome. That's Mando right there. That's Djarin pointing his damn blaster at us, saying, I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. Choice is yours. I get paid either way. I don't give up. And the nice thing about a figure like this, because it's not like a Spider-Man figure that's covered in a kind of uncertain material that you're worried about bending elbows and the suit getting damaged. I mean, this is a material outfit with armor plates, so bending the elbow is not a problem on this guy. Having him in a dynamic pose for a long period of time should not be a problem. You can have a lot of fun with a piece like this, and everyone can have their own individual display with their Mando figure. This pose right here would certainly be acceptable. Looks very cool, great balance, no problems with him standing up, and that looks nice and authoritative and aggressive. Powerful pose right there, and looks good from any angle. Can bring him around a little bit, have him pointing the gun right at us, or have him posed a bit more like this so you can see the cape. I see some great tricks on YouTube with people using paper clips or wires to get the cape looking like it's kind of blowing in the wind. So I'll do a true light review outside in the back garden with this guy, and hopefully the natural breeze will create a nice effect with the cape blowing subtly in the wind. So look out on the channel for a nice outdoor natural light video with this piece coming up real soon. Alright, so now this is the one I'm a bit worried about, because I just don't think it's going to be very easy to pose him with this particular weapon, given that it doesn't really have the usual kind of like a bit that comes down here for his hand to actually hold on to. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm going to give it a try. I've seen people do it, so I should probably just go and check out some other people's videos first and just get some tips. I mean, it's going to be fine, but we'll see. It's getting to hold on to this thing. It's just, yeah, because obviously the trigger finger is going to go there. I guess that will just rest on there then, and then he'll hold on to it with the other hand. Yeah, that's going to be fine. It's just a bit of a different design than I'm used to as far as holding onto weapons with figures. Alright, so it's definitely not the easiest pose to do, and I haven't done this that well. This elbow should be higher up, and I know how it should go. It's just I'm not willing to spend the time on doing it. I'm sure you guys can. It's been out for over a year. I'm sure you guys have seen other people pull off that pose. It's very tricky to do though. So even for someone like me who's been messing around with 1/6 scale figures for about 15 years now, that is a tricky one. Without removing the padded suit underneath, I'm not sure how easy it would be to get him down on one knee. You know, I think the articulation might be a bit hindered in the legs. I was able to get a nice bend in the knee, but I'm talking about this kind of area here where the leg joins onto the torso because of the suit underneath the outfit to pad him out. That might hinder things a little bit. But yeah, this is definitely a tricky one to do. It is doable, but you'd have to spend a fair bit of time on it, and I want to carry on with the review, folks, so I hope you can accept the mediocrity of this particular attempt. And here is your classic walk-in pose. Again, the balance is really good, no need for a stand as long as you're careful and get it looking quite nice. I kind of like this one. Nothing too major going on here. He's just kind of gunslinging, getting ready to draw that blaster. Slight kind of wide stance on the legs. And you can use that stormtrooper helmet to intimidate. He's standing in front of the rest of the stormtroopers saying, "Hey, which one to use next?" I just want to appreciate all the detail on this thing. Just get in close one more time and just soak it all up. I love the weathering effect on that stormtrooper helmet. Just each little section, so well painted. Just beautiful detail all over the piece. What do you call this, like a bandolier? That's done really well. It's a nice tough material. Just exceptional work on this helmet. So I've just folded over the cape over the front to get a look at the back here and all the detail that you don't usually see because the cape draping down over it. But I just noticed now this little loop here. I guess I've been just kind of leaving this rest and just kind of, it just sits there. But I guess this is supposed to go through there to hold it in a better position and a bit more stability. More secureness. But yeah, he's been through it. I wanted to get him to hold on to the stormtrooper helmet because the helmet does have this piece of material that kind of hangs down. Obviously I've just tucked that inside the helmet so that you don't see it. I'm quite happy just having him displayed in a simple pose like this. It says everything it needs to say. I mean, it's an amazing looking piece regardless of what you do with it. I just don't feel the urge or the need to really go too dynamic with it and have him doing like somersaults and all that stuff. I mean, it's already been out for over a year and plenty of people on YouTube have shown the posability of this piece, and there's so many pictures out there from collections. I'm just giving you my thoughts, folks, on how I feel about the figure now that I finally have one in hand. He really doesn't need anything too drastic with the poses. I mean, he's just got authority just oozing out of this piece. Here's a little height comparison next to the Hot Toys City Hunter from Predator 2. That looks about right to me. Let's see how Mando looks next to some other more human characters from Hot Toys. And here he is next to the Hot Toys Deadpool from the first Deadpool movie. And Deadpool is basically exactly the same height as Mandalorian. Okay, we got two seriously heavily armored dudes. We got the armored Batman from Dawn of Justice by Hot Toys. And there's a pretty significant height difference there. It's interesting to see. Man, it's been a while since I really appreciated this piece. I know we're here to look at Mando, but damn, that is a fine looking figure. I think that was a custom mouth plate from 1/6 kit. Don't think that one actually came with the Hot Toys figure. But yeah, nice to see these two side by side. I just wanted to try him in this big diorama by Cult Creations. It's more of an Earth location. Just a grimy back street alleyway. But he looks cool standing in here. Alright folks, so I'm going to give you my final thoughts and a score out of 10. I would give this figure a 9 out of 10. You would easily get a 10 out of 10. I still think it's an absolute masterpiece, truly essential. And I just wish he had come with a couple of little extra pieces like his knife and possibly like the flame effect and also the kind of rope that kind of projectiles out and you can pull people forward with it like you saw at the beginning of episode 1. And possibly a Grogu, like a little baby Yoda, would have been nice. I know the other versions come with that, but seeing as you did see Grogu in the first episode, it would have been nice to get that as well. But I don't feel too cheated. I think it's a really good package all the way around, and this could very well become one of my favourite 1/6 scale figures in the collection. Not the favourite, but it'd definitely be in a top 10. That'd be interesting to do in the future, folks. Maybe in the near future do a top 10 1/6 scale figures in the collection. And I say, you know, top 10, but last time I tried doing a top 10 with my NECA collection, it ended up having to be a top 20 because it was too difficult. I'm sure that would be the case with a top 10, but I'll try and make it a top 10. So keep an eye out for that on the channel soon. I'll probably include like everything, things that I've modified, custom figures, whether it's stock figures. I'll just basically just include them all and do a top 10 favourite 1/6 scale pieces in the collection. So considering some of the pieces I have, I'm curious to know if he'll make it in. I want him to make it in, and he should make it in, but when I actually start compiling my top 10 1/6 scale figures, he may very well have to, you know, sit that one out. But we'll see. But yeah, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. I mean, the figure itself is a 10 out of 10. But just when you think about some of the little extra pieces that could have come with this one, I'll drop it down to a 9 out of 10. But he is, you know, an absolute masterpiece. And I love this piece. I can't recommend it enough. I think you should get it if you haven't got it already. He's been out for a while, so there's a few popping around on eBay. Like I got this one here, you know, they are out there. And $250 was a very reasonable price for this one, considering he's in mint condition. And I think the show is fantastic. Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Really enjoyed it. I'm about halfway through Book of Boba Fett and started off a little bit kind of iffy. I mean, I was kind of enjoying watching them, but it's definitely getting better. I'm on I've just finished episode 5, so I'm about to go on to episode 6 tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. But it's nice that Star Wars has come back and is, you know, pumping out some really good stuff. And I hope we see plenty more of Djarin in the future. And it'd be interesting to see if Hot Toys make a quarter scale version of this armor, the Durasteel armor. I have to double check. I know they've done the Beskar in 1/4 scale. Maybe they gave you the parts necessary to change them into this version too. I'd have to look into it. It's one of those things that was so out of my reach, I didn't want to even look at the videos because I didn't want to get too tempted to grab one. I wouldn't have anywhere to put the quarter scale one, but this I can manage to find a spot for him. But thanks for watching, guys, and drop a like on the video, helps me out a bunch. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333 if you want to support the channel and keep, you know, help me keep the reviews coming, keep the channel relevant. Then you can always support the channel on Patreon if you wish for as little as $1 a month, and I'll stick your name at the end of every video just like the credits of a movie. But this has been the awesome 1/6 scale Din Djarin from The Mandalorian Season 1 in the Durasteel armor. Absolutely incredible piece. 9 out of 10. Definitely recommend you pick him up if you haven't done already. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Take it easy.